Hello, everyone, and this is Toothless Tiger. Welcome to the Tiger's Den. I'm going to start this off a little different today. We have a special guest. We're bringing back Miss Carolyn Jones, our life coach that is much needed. I don't see many people in, so that's fine. We're going to give it a second. And then I'm going to go on with my tribute. Now, this tribute is to CJ, something that I made a commitment to do. I will be doing this, but I had the honor of a young man, a content creator, who saw my show on playback from Sunday. And he actually loved my voice, which, of course, we all think our voices are horrible. But he actually loved my voice and he made a song out of a song. And he just added music to what I was saying. And so I want to share that as honor to CJ. So please allow me. Okay, now I just told my brother I was getting myself together and I had this up there, but I was trying to take away my mute because I had it on mute. So let me just go back and find the video again. Give me a moment. That didn't start at the beginning, and I know this looks kind of terrible, but I really do practice before I come on. This is in honor of CJ.
Get through that, you find the only kind of respect that matters in this damn world. Self-respect.
There's been a lot going on YouTube in the last few days. And again, I normally don't talk about these individuals, and I certainly don't normally call them by name, but today I will. There are some dangerous things that's going on. Keep holding 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 on. Precious memories. How they linger. How they ever Thank you very much. Keep holding on. That's what he named the song. And I am so honored that he did that for myself as well as CJ. Now, I have a very special guest that's waiting for us. I want to take down my share screen. And so let me figure out how to take that down. And probably the best way to take that down is to stop screen. Everybody, I have really been practicing and I will continue to practice. Please forgive me for, not having it quite together. Salute Maria. Salute Prime Time. Salute Michelle. And without any further ado, and salute everybody who's not typing. I'm happy to have you here. I want to bring on my special guest who's been very patient with me, Miss, and she's Mrs. Carolyn Jones. I don't want her husband, Ernest, to come and say, wait a minute, talking about Miss. She's already taken. Mrs. Carolyn Jones, I welcome you to the screen. Hello, Carolyn. Can you hear us, Carolyn?
Hello, hello, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I don't know, you're freezing up on us a little bit. You might want to go out and come back in, Carolyn.
Yeah, I'm getting a little delay myself, but can you hear me now?
We can. We can. Let me just say salute to Erica. Thank you for joining us, Erica. Yes, go ahead.
Wonderful. I'd like to say good evening. Can you hear me, Cheryl?
I can hear you, but you're freezing up on the screen for some reason. Hello, Kiana Harris. Salute. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I'd like to say good evening, and if everyone can hear me, I am Carolyn Jones, CEO and founder. And we do use the wonderful acronyms of COAL, COAL, because we do know that before the diamonds, after they've been polished and all of the great gold, everything has to go through an element. And as the coal goes through its elements, everything comes out as a jewel. It comes out as so Cole, chance of a lifetime coaching. Hello, Cheryl. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. For some reason, every now and then it freezes up, but you're doing fantastic.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
I guess it seems like we threw this together. We really didn't, and we really tried to practice and get everything together. But perhaps I should remind those who were here before and those that are coming anew. Carolyn Jones has a business, and it's here at the bottom. It's called Chance of a Lifetime Coaching. And what she does is coach individuals in different areas of their lives, whatever area you may need coaching in. And so she will speak on what she's done. She will speak on her classes that she just gave. She had a dynamic 3-day class. They're called master classes. And so what she has done is um, ended that session, and she wanted to come back and share with us. We had such a great outpouring last time she was here. And so we wanted to bring her back to share what she did. So, Carolyn, the first question I'll pose to you: what is Chance of a Lifetime Coaching, and where is it now since we last visited?
Yes. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Chance Lifetime Coaching, it is a very comprehensive life strategy and life planning program, designed to help individuals go from one place of their life into the area that they have most desired. We have programs, activities, master classes, we have activities, networking, all kinds of entities that will help individuals get connected and stay connected in the bridge work, what they're doing in their journey for their lives. It is a message finding your frequency. It was on self-expression and self-authenticity. Are you all able to hear me quite clearly at this point?
We can hear you, but for some reason you're freezing up every now and then. Uh, Someone asked me if
Okay,
I'm
okay.
giving away
So
gas.
let's see.
No, I don't
It,
have no gas to give away. I gave away two massages though. But no, not right now. Maybe one day.
I'm
Zero.
my
Andre Spears.
settings
But
on my.
they could be trolling, but yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. That's a good idea. Refuse to lose. Glad you joined us. So yes, Carolyn, you're freezing up every now and then, but we could hear you as you talked. So my next question: describe how your life goals impact what you do now.
Oh,
Did you did you hear me?
to dark. Yes, you. I think are you asking how has my life goals been impacted as to what I do now?
Yes.
And that would be simply put is that of I know for me, I've come through dark situation after dark situation after dark situation in my life. And some I had control of, some I didn't. And you see, there are three kinds of pits. She's one of my favorite authors. But she talked about herself in one of these pits. And I'm sure that many of the masses can attest that they have two. But she talked about pits, out of those pits. And I was use what I learned in my internal journeys to help someone else pits, if you would allow me to just kind of disclose on the other pits
Maybe you need to go out,
that
Carolyn, and come back in and see if the
often have
Carolyn
our own strength to actually get out of. So,
she can't hear
yes,
me.
I hear you, Cheryl.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe you need to go out and come back in because you're freezing up real bad and we're missing the points of that you're making.
Okay, I will. I'll do that.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and Carolyn is going to go out and come back in, and I'll just entertain you guys until she gets back. If you were here at the beginning, then you got to see the video that his name is Andre O.D. Kimball. He has a channel. Please go and sub up to his channel. But like I said earlier, he heard my playback video and he heard my voice, and he is a master musician. And he said that he wanted to do something with that. And he does little parodies. They're not long, but he always put them to music, and I love his music. One of the things I found out about him, he knows that Bootsy Collins and George Clinton are my favorite artists of all time as far as funk goes. And he once played with George Clinton's son in a band. So I was very impressed, and I love his musicality. And so he did that, and he sent me an email with it in, and he gave me credit for my voice. Um, I was very honored that he would do that. And I wanted to play that because from Sunday, what I decided to do was we're going to try to seek justice for CJ, a young man that was killed in Glenn County in Georgia. And justice has not been served in his case. So we want to try to help his mom get justice for her son. And then I'm going to see, it looks like Carolyn is joining us again. And I'm going to see if I can bring her back. Well, I'm going to see if I can bring her back, if I can bring me back. This seems like a bad day, but I'm going to tell you, when things go bad like this, don't take them for bad because we don't know what the universe is doing. And don't think that, I must have done something wrong or said something wrong, because that's not necessarily true. We have energy bodies, and energy sometimes has to catch up with each other. So I've practiced, I've tried to make it right. I'm not the best at this, but I am the best of me. And I'm going to give you the best that I have to give. So with no further ado, we want to certainly bring our guests back. Okay, Carolyn, let's try it this time and see if we do better.
Hi, Cheryl. It's good to be here.
Okay. You were answering a question. Salute, Matt K. Carolyn, can you hear me?
Yes, Cheryl.
Okay, I think
I
you
can
were
hear you.
answering.
Yes.
Okay, I think you were answering that second question. You was telling us about the impact on your life.
Sure. How my life goals impacted what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was speaking about the fact that I was using myself as the first internal indicator that I've had myself situations dark and bleak that I've had to come out of at one time or another. And at many times it was a lot more than other that I found myself having to come out and crawl out of these dark situations. And I realized that they were pits that I had fallen into. It's to an armor described three pits as three different kinds of pits. One is a pit that you're pushed in innocently by someone else. Maybe it's a family issue, heritage, a family curse, etc., a job loss. It's just something that happened, but I had no control of it. It just happened. That's one of those pushed in situations. And then these pit I want to kind of look at is that slipped in, and those ones that they weren't planned, just you know, you're sliding and you ended up with the order. You know, you kind of slid. Whereas that third kind, it's that kind that you just jump into willfully, knowing, just totally disobedient. And I like to use that one as and you're in a situation. You know that the person is married, but you enjoy the company and you justify it by saying, "Oh well, I'm not going to harass the wife, or not going to harass the husband, or anything like that." But it's one of those you go into it, and it's something that nonetheless it becomes a pit. So when you find yourself in these pits, you have to areas of my life I've had to get out of it. And from what I've been able to gain from coming out of these pits, along with my theologies, my research, my education, my knowledge of being in the social industry system, for myself being a soundboard for so many people, time after again, and getting them through dark places that I knew was part of their own defined purpose. So it was then that I started saying, "Hey, I'm here to help others." So that's where I am. And that's how I ended up with Chance of a Lifetime coaching, way on finding life itself have just allowed them to fall into an area that they really didn't think they could get out of. But it's an area of not only hope, but of intention. So chance of a lifetime coaching, and as we call COLE, is where I just found myself conversating with people, facilitating them through their own dark areas. And I knew that was part of my defined purpose. So understanding those life challenges that were complex in all areas, because we all deal with complexities. But it was there that, been there, done that, still mastering moves. So I knew that they help they can move forward in their way and in a mindful manner. And that's what has impacted me to do what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Okay. Fantastic. Number three, I want to ask you, could you describe the Finding Your Frequency masterclass you just presented? And let me just ask you, Carolyn, because
Mm,
I have several questions I want to ask you. So when you answer the question, keep in mind we have time constraints, and I want to get in as many questions as we can. Or if anyone out there in the audience, if you have a question, please present it. She'll be more than happy to do her best to answer it. So
absolutely.
please.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I'm getting a little delayed feedback. Hopefully, that's just on my end, but continue, Cheryl, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you sound
All right, I can
fantastic
identify.
on this side. You know, sometimes what I think it is, Carolyn, I think it's the Wi-Fi and the frequency or the whatever they called it, the bandwidth or whatever. Because I'm not really good with that stuff with the internet stuff. But I think that that's a
Neither
part
am
of
I,
what that
Cheryl.
is. Uh huh. But yes, go ahead. You can answer that question. Did you hear me ask it? Did you hear the question that I asked? Did you hear the question that I asked? Do you want me to ask it again?
Yes,
Look
please
like you're
ask it again.
okay. I said describe the Finding Your Frequency masterclass you just presented.
Yes, if you're interested, if you're one of those folks out there that's interested and ready to start a gratitude practice to embrace joy, abundance, happiness, zeal, zest, and appreciation for the good that's in your life, that's what my masterclass was about, because it all starts you. Even when we face our challenges and our hardship, the masterclass is great for grounding. So, the Finding Your Frequency masterclass was um, pretty much a concept that made you feel like you were absolutely on top of the world. How many of you can recognize or even resonate with that song that may come on the radio, may come on your iPod, may come on YouTube, and it may be a song that you haven't heard in a while, but before you know it, you find yourself grooving and moving and grooving and moving. You say, "Oh yeah, I know that song. Oh yeah, I know what that's all about. Yeah, yeah, yeah." That's a frequency, and 963 hertz is one of those frequencies. If many of you listen to the positive meditation music, and a lot of the frequencies that they use are high frequencies that help elevate the mind. Even in some of those tunes that you find so relative to you that you just like, oh yeah, yeah. Those different songs have that provide a frequency, and it's a place where it elevates you, and it shifts your momentum, it shifts your groove, it shifts your spirit, it soothes, it heals, it ignites, and that's what we want to do, because that's what if you can keep your life at a point of being ignited at all times, soothing at all times, the question is not only how we get there, but how do we stay there? So, Finding Your Frequency is a masterclass where we devoted time and theologies about what we found out about ourselves to make that happen for ourselves. Frequency, it elevates your mind, bringing strength to help you make the changes that you need to make. From finding your secret true to basking in your own authenticity, I've had the opportunity of transforming conversations, intriguing conversations, and as a master facilitator, motivating speaker, even as a life strategist, from my evolution to my self realization, I take that inner peace that's inside of me and help others realize that you are not in this alone. Evolution to my self realization, you're not in this alone. What I wanted to talk about being in that self realization, it's an evolution. In the master class, we were able to show how to own the room from through communication and leadership techniques with poise, purpose, and power. Those were the three key points that class resonated, that you are in a space where you will no longer just be walking in vain. And what we mean about walking, we're not talking about a literal room, we're not talking about a literal structure, but it's in every area and situation of your life as if it was a room and you walked in of total darkness, but your it brought pure light into place. It's with that poise, it's the integrity that resonates about who you discover yourself as being, the integrity of the accountability of owning up to who and what you have discovered. And you're doing it with the purpose. When I define purpose, or when my purpose, I wasn't searching for it. I walked right in it. And this is what this self authenticity does. It helps you realize your purpose because you are walking right in it. And the main thing is that you are executing it with power. We are eliminating fear all aspects. Fear is not allowed in the room. Fear is barricaded from the room. We put a lock on fear and they need the passcode to get in. And every time they try to get in, the access is what? It's denied. Because fear has no place in establishing and mastering our authenticity. This is a place where we become grounded, me are engaged in the process of healing the mindset, because the mindset is the beginning of things. So that was the essence of the beginning of the masterclass on finding your frequency, finding place where every day you can make it, going back to the frequency that you found where you felt most soothing for you, going back to that place to where you found like you could literally take on and master the world. It's this that no one else can rock you off your throne. Nobody can say anything to make you feel like you're less than. Nobody can do anything that make you feel you are not worthy. You have defined yourself because you found your place, and it's a unique place, and that's that place inside of you. And so, in the masterclass of self authenticity and self expression, we had 3 days where we dove in deep. It's a master class. It's offered in a we did as a $97 promotion, but each one of those sessions can be held, and of course it goes back to the original price of $50 per session. But it's a 3 day, but it's an absolutely phenomenal time, Cheryl, where people have a true opportunity to truly dig into their own personal values and the things that go along with it. But that's the beginning of what the master class was about.
Okay, let me just take a moment, if you don't mind, and just welcome my guest, Matt K. I think I said salute Matt K. Matt
Sure.
K did. If you guys would notice, I have a new little avatar. Matt K did that for me, and also my new tiger T-shirt. That's my tiger with the crown. Absolutely
Okay.
beautiful. And I want to welcome Wilma Flagstaff, my producer. Good to see you here, Wilma.
Okay.
Flip phone. Always a pleasure to see you. And my cookies world. Everybody, please go and subscribe to Cookies World if you're not. She does the tarot, and a lot of us don't understand the tarot, and we think that it's black magic and it's something horrible and scary, but it's not. It's a part of
It's
our
not.
history, and I would like for you all to
It's
please
not.
go and check her out. She speaks to the things like you're speaking to, Carolyn, as far as the frequency and the authenticity of who you are as self. And she does it in like little 5 minute, they could be even less than that,
Absolutely.
reels, but they are very, very enlightening. So I would ask that everybody go check her out.
Yes.
Um, Refuse to Lose is also a content creator. I don't know everybody that's a content creator, but if you're a content creator, please let me know so that I can shout you out, because one way that we build is that we support each other. So please, you guys, I would like for you to hit the like button if you would. Share this. Somebody might need to hear this. And don't be afraid to hit my Cash App. I know some people say they don't ask, but I find that if you don't ask, you don't receive, if it doesn't come automatic. And sometimes it comes when you're the least expected. On
Absolutely.
a day that you're not even on the computer, someone will hit the Cash App. So please give out of your
Mm.
want and desire and your need, but don't take away from yourself. And that's what I always say. But giving is
Mm.
good.
Good point.
Let me go on to the next question.
Mhm.
Explain the difference, or did you do that already? Because you went into the authenticity and the frequency, but what is the difference between self expressions and self authenticity? What is the difference?
Okay, so when you are dealing with self authenticity, you are dealing with the value that you have placed from self love. When you're dealing with expression, you're dealing with the nurturing of the self care. And there is an integration, speak of the two, because self expression is that self care where you nurture yourself, you give yourself the elements of becoming engage with making yourself feel better. And the self authenticity is the self love that you engage in when you become confident. Because, see, self care is about believing I can become, but self authenticity is about the confidence of knowing who I've become. It's actually evolution of accepting yourself for who it is that you see in the mirror. So I would say that that would be the difference between self expressions and self authenticity.
Okay, fantastic. So, what are the qualities of self authenticity, and how can the audience take advantage of self authenticity?
Did that answer your question?
I don't know. What did you say? What did you say? I don't know. You mean the question you just answered?
I was asking you, did that answer your question? You kind of went out on me
Oh,
just a
oh
okay,
yeah, I
okay.
yeah,
So
it
just
did,
a
it
little
did.
bit. I had just kind
Salute
of
Jerome Biggums. Thank you for coming.
okay.
Go ahead, Carolyn. I think you froze up
Yeah.
on us, but I heard you say yeah though.
I just would like to say, there is a frequency that's unique to each and every one of us. And It's our job to locate that frequency. A lot of times there's so much noise around us. You have to do this, you have to do that. And where you really want to be is in your own natural frequency, your own natural energy source. And that's when you realize, because how many times have we made a decision that we made was based on what we thought someone expected, or what we thought somebody else might would have done, or even what we thought somebody else may would have appreciated, only to find out that that decision you made was one in error. It was not seriously. It was one that needed some more involvement with it. But if you had made that decision yourself, regardless of what the outcome would have been, you would have felt grounded and good. You made it, not the decision made for ourselves, not operating in our own authenticity, operating under social agendas, the socio stereotypes, the social been ascribed to us, not describing who we actually are. And so we have to really, really rely heavily on confidence, because confidence is the key. So seeing yourself as who you are in the mirror, that's the cultivation of your soul. It's looking into you, your look, your style. It doesn't have to be like anybody else. And that is where, when you can begin to walk out that door knowing that you're walking out feeling free. You don't have to have on this. You don't have to look like this. You don't have to do this, but you're walking out because you're feeling good regardless. That's the beginning of your journey to self-authenticity. So affirmation that we want people inside to prepare for any and every boundary, because they will come, but you have to cross your limitations and set boundaries. A lot of times we will not set boundaries. And so we have to set boundaries that serve our.
Now let me stop you there, Carolyn.
Staying
because
focused. It goes back to that confidence. We gotta believe alone.
Okay, let me stop you there, because I want you to expound on something in what you just said. I want you to expound on something you just said. So I wanted to stop you there. When you just said the key word to me, but a lot of people will say what you just said, but a lot of us, and I'm going to include myself in this, don't have what we think are the necessary tools or thought process to accomplish what you're saying. And what that is when you said set boundaries. See, we hear set boundaries. That sounds real cute to me, but it doesn't tell me anything, because that sounds just like the preacher that's telling me, if you want to get right, get saved. That sounds real cute to me. But what I'd like to hear you tell us about, what are some of the steps that what does setting boundaries entail? And let me just say hello to Cassie V. Salute. Thank you for coming. And I want to say salute Maria S. Thank you for being one of my new moderators. I greatly appreciate your time and your effort that you spend with me. Thank you so very much. Okay, Carolyn, so if you would, because we're getting, a few minutes away from our time, which we're going to go over about 5 minutes because the video was 5 minutes. So, in honor of CJ. So I want to give you your time, because I greatly appreciate you sharing your gifts with us, especially when we know that time is money and you're giving of yourself, at no charge. So I would definitely want to give you your hour that you agreed to give me. So could you hit on boundaries and the steps one can take? Because it sounds good to say set boundaries, but some of us is like, how do you do that? What does that really mean? Can you tell us?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Cheryl. I would love to, and thank you again. And I do this willfully, glad to be able to just speak to the masses on something that's so that serves as so much compassion for myself. And setting boundaries is something that I had to learn to do. And that's simply learning to express and say the word no and know that it's okay to say the word no. And when you set boundaries, you begin by thinking about, what am I giving off more of myself today than I am actually receiving in the end? It's a reciprocation matter. So, because what we have is, when we extend ourselves thinking that same thing is going to be reciprocated back unto us, and that doesn't happen. So you only give what you allow yourself to give, not looking for anything in return. Because when you give looking for something, I don't mean, I'm not talking about money, I'm just talking about time, resources,
Anything.
everything. You have
Fantastic.
not everything. That's right. And your boundaries within the fact that you set them and you stay focused on them. And it's okay to say no, because the best thing is that a lot of times you come up short by giving your best. We give our best. Oh, I'm going to give my best time. I'm going to give my best tithing. I'm going to give my best this. I'm going to give my best that. And when you give your best, you have almost nothing left of yourself. So the next time someone comes and they may want to simply ask you, can you take me to work? Can you, I need to go to the store. Well, in your mind, you say to yourself, yeah, I can take you to the store, but I just got off work. I'm tired. Gas is $6 a gallon. And, and you're thinking all of this, but out of the goodness of your heart, and you're thinking you're doing that person some justice, you go on and you take that person to the store. That person go in the store, stay in the store for 20, 30 minutes, come back out the store, you get home, and they give you a simple thank you. Then offer to pay you gas, then offer to buy, do you need anything out of the store? But you were giving your best. You didn't set the boundary, or you went over the boundary, and then you're left with lack. You're like, I can't believe that. I can't believe they just did that to me. But yes, they did, because they had no boundaries, limitations onto how they chose to use you. But when you set that limitation, those boundaries, I don't care who asks me to go to the store. If I don't feel like it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take them if they don't have gas money, because gas is too high. Somebody asked, were we giving away gas? No, we're not giving away gas, but we do know the value of it. And that's just one example of setting those boundaries, being okay with saying no, being okay not coming up empty, because you deserve to have something for you too. So it's okay to have limitations, and you deserve your best. So you take care, and you got this. That's how you deal with those limitations.
That was
Those are boundaries,
absolutely,
I think.
yeah, that was gorgeous. And the examples that you gave was extremely well, because so many times, a lot of us, especially as, being mothers, and even a lot of people don't realize that if you are
Mm-hmm.
a woman, a female, whether you give birth to children or not, you're still a mother, because you have the capacity to, even
Yes.
if you can't give birth, you have the capacity to help another mother out. If she loses her breast to
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer and you have breast, you have the capacity to
Yes.
assist in whatever way you can. And so we kind of tend to put ourselves on the back burner, and we won't say no. We feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? So that's really good to know,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
pathway
Yeah.
that you take to taking boundaries. Because oftentimes when you do start standing up for yourself,
Yeah.
you feel guilty and you feel selfish. And I think that goes back into what you were saying about
Yeah.
that self authenticity
Mm-mm.
and self worth. We got to first establish the confidence in ourselves. So that's beautiful. The next question is, tell us about what
Mm-hmm.
inspired you to create the masterclass that you did. You're probably a little slow, but you'll come in.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to say something. You said something about being selfish. And that's one of the things I wanted to point out at some point in this, is that Self authenticity has nothing to do about being selfish or the lack of looking at what someone else may need or want, but it's rather your proof and love to yourself that it's all about making sure that you can provide for whoever come along because you know which way you're going into. So I just wanted to point out that, and I'm glad you mentioned that about self and self authenticity was is because you can no longer be under that stereotype and agenda of you're selfish if you don't do this for me, or you're selfish is that. No, that has nothing to do with it, but more so it's that proof of you giving ownership to yourself, to give yourself permission to do what you need to do. So
Beautiful.
thank you so much. And you, yeah, yeah, I just, when you said that, I'm like, oh, I really want to touch on that. And really, what really brought this, why, because this, I think now is the time more than ever that we have to begin to be absolutely sure of who we are so that we can do what we need to do. There were many challenges that I had along the way with this, but one of the main things that I really enjoyed in putting this class together was knowing that I was in a place where I was able to help somebody come to this and know that now is the, and I think it was the urgency, Cheryl, more than anything, the urgency
Okay.
of knowing that we have to move now. Now,
Yes.
we have to do it collectively as a melanin unit, but we can't do it collectively if we don't have our mind straight. We've had too many sellouts, too many brainwashes, too many
Tell the truth.
people that messed up the whole broth because they bowed out, they sold out. They are not knowing who they really are. They are not feeling free within themselves that they got to nickel. They got to be sold out by wherever you're placed. But knowing who you are, and I think now more than ever, we're in
Mm-hmm.
urgency that we take
Mm-hmm.
care of ourselves so we can take care of our family and take care of our community. Don't get anything I say tonight. I need you to know there's an urgent call on our melanin community. There's an urgent call that we need to get it together. And we got to start first healing ourselves, knowing who we are, knowing we got what it takes, knowing we already got the power. What you waiting on? That was the question. Now, or you could do it later. Later may just be too late. We need it now. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Cheryl, passion of mine. Now, I don't understand why we do what we do to each other. We got enough oppression out there. We got enough oppression out there, and
Yes.
I was inclined to put this master class together because I wanted us to feel intensity first, because we didn't get here alone. However the hell we got here, we didn't get here alone, but we are here where
We're
we can
here now.
stand together, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a must.
You're so
We're here.
needed right now. You're so needed
We're
right
here.
now,
What we gonna do about it? We're here.
especially what's going on today in the world, but even what's going on in the YouTube world. This is an
Oh
opportunity
yeah.
for so many of us to be entrepreneurs, and then there is so much division, and it's really disheartening and sad. But I want to say salute to Andre Williams and looking in the mirror. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Please be sure and hit the like button. But something you said, Carolyn, and what I wanted to ask, given that you have all of this knowledge for us and you're willing to present it to us, did people participate? Do you find that we as a people are participating in workshops like your workshop? Do you get a pretty good turnout? Because I know for me on here, I basically talk about uplifting, our people. And I call us Moorish Americans by bloodline. We're Asiatic by the land, and we're organic to the land. So we're made up of, what is that? Carbon and copper, and we have the moon and the sun inside of us. So I call us
Okay.
who we are. So I love, love, love what you're saying and where you're going with this. And I'm gonna tell you, Carolyn, we're gonna have to find out what is it that makes you delayed, because we need to hear every word that you say. We don't need to just hear you be saying some good, and you know how I talk shit, and then you go out and we can't hear you. But we really are hungry. Some of us, we really are. Oh, salute my Milwaukee. Let me pay some respect to my Milwaukee Jeff, because he's going to always honor me. And I thank you.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
If you don't hit the cash out. Like I said, I'm like everybody else. I want to receive money. A workman is worthy of his hire. But more than anything, I want to uplift my people. So if you never have a dime, don't you say I got to stay away from her,
Absolutely.
chat, because I don't have nothing to give. Yes, you do. You have
Absolutely.
you, and who better to invest in than you? We've never seen money. We see Federal Reserve notes. We've never seen silver and gold to have, to hold. So all I want to say is, Carolyn, I don't want to take up no more of your minutes. Let me get in another question, because we need this and we need you. So I'm going to need you to come back again next month, would you please? And we're going to find out what's going on with this internet so that we can hear you so much, because everybody needs this. We as a people, and what people don't understand about me, I'm not like the person who say I don't see color, because that's, I would be crazy as hell, because we have a system in place that's based on what they call color. But what
Mm-hmm.
I but what I know is that system is hegemony,
Yes.
and they use color to keep us separated so we won't like each other. But we're all human, and we all bleed the same, we all
Mm-hmm.
cry the same, we all hurt the same,
Mm-hmm.
we all eat the same. We may be individuals, but as people, we're human, for those of us that are human. And let me just say, Brandon, Piggy, glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. So, Carolyn, another question I have for you. What were the challenges in bringing your master class to life? What were the challenges?
Wow. One of the biggest challenges that I had was discovering myself all over again. This was therapeutic for myself, as well as I was getting it ready for my targeted class. And with me, I still work about 9 to 5. So with trying to do the 9 to 5, find myself, I was up late nights into the of the morning. But what was so illuminating about that was that I found my peace during those early hours. I found another frequency moment that brought me peace, and I was able, my content was greater, the flow was better, and I was able to maneuver. So I would think one of the most challenges was, not only was it 9 to 5, that if I me with just the fact of working through it, I still was able to find a balance. But
Mm,
the challenge was the 9 to 5, was working through the late night morning, and I hear my husband still in the background. Come on, you need to get in bed. Come on, you need to get in bed. But I was in my moment. My juices were flowing. My frequency was up, and I finally got him to understand I'm good. And so, in spite of the challenges, I still found joy. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. We go through challenges, but we got to work through it. And when we
yes,
embrace those challenges, enjoy, put a twist on it, put a shift on it. So, all right, because one in the master class, I know we're about to run out of time, but one of the exercises was, we do a lot on meditation, mindfulness. But when you are doing your meditation or self-talk, whatever it is, we do the I am abundant, I am beautiful, I am loved. And this is challenge my class. Instead of I, put your name there. It'll put some more ownership on that, possessiveness to that. And say, Cheryl, you are wonderful. Cheryl, you're going to be a millionaire today. Cheryl, I see the money coming. You begin to place your name instead of the I, instead of the you, because what that does, it possesses the attraction. You're like, I can be anybody. You can be anybody, but can't nobody be Cheryl. Can't nobody be Carolyn. You begin to place your name where that thing is, and attraction will follow. So, I think that's a real big thing that I discovered as well.
Okay, can I give a little bit different take on that? And the reason I'm doing this is because I know it to be true. The I, see, it's written, and most of us grew up on the written word. God has many names. This person they call God, this thing, whatever. But one thing that we know
Mm,
that the Godhead
yes,
said, I am that I am. And if you ever see me write I am, I'm going to
that's
capitalize the
true.
I and the A
Yes.
because I am whatever I say I am. I am.
Hey,
So I understand putting a name on it. I do. I get that. But it could be like
yes.
Lazarus and the grave. Now, back in that story, the the life angel, I'm gonna say, knew which Lazarus to go pull up. But shit, the way the day going today, hell,
You
they
would
might
go
get
to
the
good
wrong
yeah.
Cheryl. And that Cheryl might get my damn millions. And I don't want her to get my millions. So I want it to be I am. And I am that I am that I am. Because I am. And that's who I am. So, I mean, that's just another little take on it. So I got what you're saying, and I
And
appreciate what you're saying.
absolutely, and rightfully so, Cheryl. The name placement was the expansion. It was the
Okay,
elevation
I got
him,
it.
and
I
I
got it.
didn't. Yes, it
No,
was. It was part of the exercise, and that's one good thing about being in the class and getting everything. But true that I am is so powerful, and it goes back to in the name was the putting the little bit more ownership, a little bit more possessiveness into that. So yes, I don't negate that at all. So we're still on the same. We're still there.
yeah, we on the
Still
same.
there.
We're always on the same page because you're speaking my language. It's just that the things that I've learned, I didn't get to, and it wasn't because I wasn't given the opportunity. I'm a person. I don't really kind of like structured stuff. And I grew up in a very disciplined home, so I am a disciplined
Yeah.
person to some degree on some things. On some things, I have none whatsoever. But I am a person that I don't like
Yeah.
structure, and so I am a person who are just I'm a happy-go-lucky type, don't want to do shit type person. And since I worked for 40 years of my 63
Okay.
years, and I'm retired now, not so that I could travel the world, which I don't really like traveling, but I've been a lot of places. It's because of my disability that I
Ooh,
was,
I love to.
retired. So
Okay.
my retirement, let me put some respect on my beautiful, 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 beautiful person. She takes care of me throughout the week. I'm just sitting here. And I don't call amounts because we know it's a lot of things going on, doxing and things, and I don't want to bring any harm to anybody. So I don't call names and stuff like that. But she loves me dearly and she loves my message because she's always doing something for me, and I greatly appreciate that. But I want to get this question answered because we're at the 8 o'clock mark and we're going to have, like I said, we're going to go over, give you time to answer this question.
Okay.
And that is, what is it that you want the audience to take away from your classes? And before you answer, I want to say, Brandon Piggy, I want to say thank you for joining. You've been in the master classes, and we appreciate real life human beings that have actually experienced this greatness of this woman. So I want to just say that. And Carolyn, we got 5 minutes, so you say your ending, and then we'll close out. And again, you and I'll talk and schedule your next one because you're fantastic.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. The benefit is simply this: the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we actually are. And I'll
Oh,
leave you
that's
on a
bad.
little piece of a piece that I've started writing. My perfect time is my purposed time. I am healthy and whole, wealthy and wise in every space, in my spirit, body, and soul. The dynamics of who I am is yet to be untold. From the crown of my head to the melanin of my feet, I am abundant and prosperous in great depth with joy, freedom, and life's longevity. I am at peace with a smile on my face, grace in my pace, and pride in my stride. I am authentically me, Carolyn Jones, chance of a lifetime coaching.
Carolyn Jones, you are a phenomenal woman. And what I'd like for you to do, please share your I know you have Facebook, I know you have a website, and you may have an IG. I got it all in here, but would you just please say it out loud so that they can hear it? They may want to write it down and they want to
Sure,
look you up,
sure.
because that's what it's all about. What I try to teach people
Yes.
when they come on Sundays, and of course you're there, so I thank you for being there, is to do some research for yourself. Because one thing about it is when you go get it,
Mm-hmm.
we can direct you to it. We can help you get there. But if you got to put in the work, it's just like this thing that we're on now. It's called YouTube. It's not called my tube. It's not called his tube. It's not called her
Mm.
tube. It's called YouTube. And so what we have to do as individuals is we have to seek it for ourselves. And then we have people like myself, like you, like others, Laura Lala. She's now Sparks Lala 2.0. And we have people here that you can go to and hear this uplifting stuff. We get on YouTube for the entertainment, but I give the etymology of entertainment, and that means to keep you distracted and to keep your attention away from what it needs to be. Like you said, the time is now. Papa Will is great. They have Kalani
Yeah.
Management. And so he has a page. And Papa Will, you need to email me so we can talk about, the day that we're going to do a show together. I'd like to put together a panel of people such as ourselves and give us an opportunity to speak to the people. And that would be like on one of my Sundays when I just take all the time in the world. What I do here is I try to
Mm-hmm.
limit it to an hour to try to be disciplined for myself. Because, like I told you, I don't like structure. So I'm trying to get to where I can get structure. But Carolyn, you can give your information. After you give your information, I am going to close out everybody. So I want to let you know I'm truly grateful. Everybody hit the like button. I thank everybody that supports me with their time, sharing, comments. And if you guys don't mind, would you go back on the video and comment? If you don't say nothing but salute, would you do that for me? Because that helps us get out here. YouTube goes by an algorithm, and it's however often people look at it, like it, share it, or comment. All of those add up. And then that makes it circulate, because we got to get this word out, y'all. The time of the church almost is dead. I'm not saying people don't believe what they believe, because you do. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But when we had that little thing that they said we had, and we all had to shut down, and they didn't believe God enough to be able to go sit in the churches. So it's kind of like now they still don't now, as long as you send your money. Well, I just need you to know we need this information because our time is now. All of the Asiatic nation need to stand up. And so with that being said, Carolyn, give us your information and we'll be closing out.
Thank you, Cheryl. It's Chance of a Lifetime Coaching is my Facebook page. And I also have just my simple YouTube page, Carolyn M. Jones. I have www.chanceofalifetimecoaching.com. My website, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, it's all Chance of a Lifetime Coaching. Or you can simply Carolyn one and you'll get to me, but do know that you are your best self.
Fantastic. And if anybody want to be on the show on a Tuesday night, if you have something to share, please feel free to give me an email. I'll be more than happy to have you as my guest. Tuesday nights, I started doing the interviews for people that have their own business, people that have a product they want to put out, people that have a message that they want to put out. I have merchandise that I don't always show, but I would love for people to start buying my merchandise. I have journals, ink pens, keychains, t-shirts, memory pillows, and memory candles. I will show them Sunday or after I do the show. But since we're pressed for time, I just want to make those announcements. If you guys don't mind, since I have all of you here, I'm going to try to share one more time. No, I'm not. I'm not going to share it because I'm not that great and I want this to go perfect. It's been going beautiful, so I want it to keep beautiful. So I'm going to get ready to leave the Tiger's Den. Carolyn, thank you for your time and certainly your message. You have touched us and we thank you. Okay?
Thank you,
everybody
Cheryl.
in the chat.
Thank you for
I want to say,
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. We're delayed a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. I want to say thank you, everybody. It has been a beautiful evening. And what I'm going to do now is get ready to leave the Tiger's Den. But let me give you a little shocker before I go. This message was electrifying. Thank you, Carolyn Jones. And tell Ernest, I said thank you for giving us an hour of your time. Goodbye.
This video was made for education and entertainment purposes only. There's no malice or ill intent from the content creator. So please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great evening. Good night.